I've spent most of my life travelling the world. As a travel writer, I get to travel far and wide, but often for short periods of time, so contrary to what people might think, it can be very compressed and sometimes a little stressful. So when I get a chance to walk in the countryside in Ireland, I get to breathe more and slow down, which I love. This weekend, I'm walking in Ireland's sunny southeast and breathing in the sea air along the coastal trails and walks just south of Rosslare, County Wexford. My name is Paul Canila, and this is my Tracks and Trails. I've been walking for the day in Rosslare, County Wexford. I started this morning at Rosslare Harbour, and now I'm halfway through my walk. I'm walking along the beach section just south of Rosslare. As with all the walks around Ireland, I love the variety of people that you meet along the way. I bumped into Georgina Driver. She's walking with her mother and her children, and it turns out she's an avid walker and hiker and has quite a following on Instagram. It's all because when she had her kids, she didn't stop walking and hiking. She brought them with her. Now, she's inspiring thousands of followers who also realise they don't have to stop hitting the trails just because they have children. How are you guys doing?
Hello. How are you?
So what kind of hikes do you guys do?
Well, we started off doing the 32 Peaks of Ireland. It's where you climb the highest mountain in each county.
What?
Yeah. So Grace has 29 done. She's 3 left. And Ella here has 15 done, so she still has a bit of catching up to do.
And what tips would you have for people with kids?
The outdoors is a big playground anyways, you know, like to be jumping off rocks and splashing in puddles and collecting little treasures and stuff like that. But then if they get a little bit tired, we have bubbles. Grace has bubbles here, so we blow them and she's like running, skipping and jumping, catching them. And we have like a wind protector and rain cover for this bag, and there's a little pillow in it so she can sleep in it and stuff. So it allows you to go that bit longer. And
Brilliant. Now, reading through your blog, I noticed there's an intrepid nanny hiker that features from time to time. Have you always been a hiker?
Not really, but I like the outdoors, and we did it when their children were growing up.
Did you take them out for the same kind of walks?
We came Patrick. Georgina was 4, so she went up and I only got halfway sitting on a stone and they were up. I'm not as good as Georgina now.
she's fitter than all of us.
What do you love most about getting out for a stroll?
Love the simplicity of it and just the pure adventure. And as a family, it's just so nice to get away from the tellies and the phones and just to live in the moment.
There's probably a lot of parents out there that might put the boots into the attic.
Yes, a lot of parents are writing to me. They're saying that they're starting to go back out hiking now when they see that we're doing it. So it's great, like just having kids, you don't have to stop. It makes you slow down and you relive your childhood again.
There's a point in a hike when things get cranky.
Yeah.
What do you produce at that point?
Yeah, so that's when I produce the bubbles and loads of snacks, and she has a little camera there and she takes loads of photographs.
See the camera here.
Oh, look.
See my one? Yours is a nicer colour though.
Oh my goodness, good girl. That's going straight to my phone now and we can print it out. If you are starting off hiking as a family, I'd say start short hikes and local hikes.
Great stuff. Okay, so I'm going to head on in this direction. Enjoy your walk.
Enjoy your walk, take care.
Thank you for the shell.
Bye.
Wexford is known for its beaches, and one thing that goes hand in hand with that is the weather. It's not called the sunny southeast for nothing. It walks mostly on the flat, but I've come to a dune here that's given me a kind of a high view over where I've come from, where I'm going. St. Helens Bay is down here, and the weather is absolutely humming at the moment. The cormorants are sunning themselves on the rock. There's a seal popping its head up. Tusker Rock is right out in front of me here. And next I'm heading due south towards Ballytrent, where I'm going to turn inland. That's the end of the coastal stretch. I'm turning inland now for more adventures.
All my life I've been waiting for this, for you, girl.
As the trail leaves the beach, I'm heading inland at Ballytrent to join the Norman Way, along the Boreens and roads to end up at the peaceful and tranquil Ladies Island.
For you, my love. All this time.
Once again, I don't have to walk far to bump into another piece of history. Now, this one's interesting. It's a plaque written in Yola, which apparently is a dialect that was spoken here centuries back. And I've been told that some old Yola words can still be heard around this part of Wexford. I've also been noticing these European-looking cycle signposts along the route. It's a cycle route that stretches all the way across Europe. As a result, there are usually plenty of cyclists at Ladies Island who can tell me more about it.
Let's run away to.
As I've been walking along, I've been passing these Eurovelo 1 signs. What exactly is a Eurovelo?
This Eurovelo here that we're on is part of 16 routes right across Europe. You can go from Norway to Poland, to Portugal, to Donegal. Just a selection of very quiet back roads that bring you to some of the most beautiful places
Fabulous.
in Wexford or in the southeast.
Most of the roads are quiet. We do sometimes 30, sometimes 50, and we just take our time, have
good
coffee,
coffee.
lunch, ice cream. When I go out, we don't go fast.
You might spill your coffee if you go.
No, well, no, it's my pace. When we go out, it's my pace when we go out together.
There's a difference between Eurovelo and a Greenway.
The Eurovelo route here is a collection of roads. So all roads, all rules apply. But the Greenway is off-road. We're going to have a Greenway shortly. It's going to go from Rosslare and it's going to meet up with the Waterford one. And the Waterford one will go on to Dungarvan. Can you imagine what that's going to be?
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Absolutely magic.
Thanks, Mil, guys. Lovely to meet you. Next time, I'm going to bring my bike.
Pleasure,
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah,
Enjoy
yeah.
your walking.
Ladies Island, or Clún na Món in Irish, is currently a place of pilgrimage. And what's interesting about this site is that it's been a pilgrimage site since the year 2 AD. Back then, it was predominantly a pagan site, allegedly used by female druids who worshipped the sun. Since 600 AD, it's become a pilgrimage site to the Christian faith. And in present times, thousands of pilgrims come here each year, mainly from the Catholic faith. This part of Wexford is known for its Norman history. The Norman interest in Ireland goes back to the 12th century when the Anglo-Normans invaded the east coast. At the time, Ireland was divided into kingdoms, or kingships, and this invasion marked the start of an 800-year period of English rule in Irish history. There are relics of this history everywhere in this part of Wexford. There are lots of myths and legends associated with this part of Wexford. Now, I'm meeting local folklorist Lorraine O'Dwyer, who's going to tell me about a mythical character who allegedly hailed from these parts and about an old language that used to be spoken here. So, thanks for meeting me.
No worries, and welcome to Clún na Món.
As I was walking around, obviously you see the stations and the statues of the Virgin Mary, and it says since 600, but really it's far before that.
Far. Yes, much older. This area here, Clún na Món, was female druids, and just across the water over there were male druids. The ancient people who lived here, they worshipped the land, they worshipped the moon, and of course they worshipped the sun, because in their folk memory would have been the Ice Age, and they knew the sun was really important. And here we are in the sunny southeast, in the sunniest sunny spot of the sunny southeast, and it's obvious that they would have a sun temple here to worship the sun.
That's amazing that it's so layered like that, and that it feels remote, it feels quite wild when you're out there, but in actual fact this was also a busy corner of the world. There was a lot going on, a lot passing by.
There's an awful lot going on here. Ireland has about 14 centuries worth of pirate stories, and the sea around here is known as the graveyard of 1,000 ships. And that's because there were so many British merchant ships coming in and out that all the privateers and pirates used to cluster around the east coast, right down as far as Cork, but cluster around this area. It's one of the most notorious. Was Philip Lamport.
He has some kind of a link with Mexico, or was it a descendant of his?
He does. When Philip was executed, his family moved into Wexford town. And there, the youngest boy, William, went off to college in England, quickly got arrested over there. He has managed to escape from prison, escaped onto a ship, turned out to be a pirate ship, learned how to sword fight, ended up in Mexico. Now, he was also extremely handsome. He had flaming red hair, not unlike my own. And he was called the Fox, but it's better known in Spanish, Zorro.
Zorro?
Zorro.
So this is Zorro we know from the movies.
Absolutely.
With the mask.
Yes, absolutely.
So when I was coming from Ballytrent, I passed this plaque, and part of it, about 3 lines, were in a language that I didn't recognise but looked vaguely French, and afterwards in brackets were the words Yola.
It's a medieval language, so it's kind of Middle English, a little bit of Flemish, a little bit of French. It's a combination of everything.
And are there any words we would recognise from Yola?
If you're talking to somebody in Wexford, they might invite you to have a cup of tea. Now tea is spelled T-A-Y in Yola, tea. And instead of saying old, we would say owld. You know, or if you were ever given out to in school for calling something a yoke is actually a word for something that doesn't have a name.
I love that. Lorraine, thanks so much. You've really brought this place to life. I'm going to keep those stories in mind as I continue walking around.
Enjoy the walk.
See you later.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
The entire loop here at Ladies Island is only 2 kilometres, but it's tranquil and the landscape here is unusual and actually quite peaceful. I'm coming to the end of my walk, and this gentle wind down is the perfect end. I've travelled so much in Ireland, but for some reason this sunny southeastern corner, the absolute corner of the country, has always eluded me, and I'm so glad I got to do it today and got so lucky with the weather. It's a trail that's taken me from beach to Boreens to this ancient pilgrimage site, slowly threading me back in time as I went through all of those different kinds of landscapes. I've absolutely loved it. There's no excuse. Get walking.